Rey should have been a sleeper agent. Now I know, look, you're thinking, I'm done with Star Wars, I'm done with the sequel trilogy, I'm done with Rey Skywalker. Ugh. Let's forget that the granddaughter of Palpatine ever stole the Skywalker's name, okay? Let's just forget that, and let's just rewind it back to the very beginning of The Force Awakens when Rey was just little Miss Rey nobody, okay? And let's take what they did in Force Awakens at face value, and let's rewrite The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. Because, honestly, The Force Awakens, not that bad, okay? It's not that bad. It's got its flaws. But as a kicking you back into the Star Wars universe, it's actually okay. It's like, okay, there's a couple of things I don't understand exactly. Why is Luke off on his own? Why are Han and Leia divorced? Why would their son have fallen to the bad side? And why would they have named their son Ben Solo when Luke was the one who had a relationship with old Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi, not Leia and Han? But wait, didn't Leia know him in when she was a kid in the Kenobi series? Yeah, but that was after the sequel trilogy came out, okay? So that's irrelevant. We're rewinding time back to 2014 to 2015 when The Force Awakens first came out, and we're going to take that and we're going to say instead what should have been. And what should have been is Rey should have been a sleeper agent. Now, this is not totally my theory. I remember I heard some of these ideas online back in the day, and some of these have come up, over time as, some of them are mine, some of them are from all over the internet. So if you've heard this theory before, yeah, you probably have. It's probably out there, and I'm sorry, I can't remember sources. So if this is one of your theories, then yay, you're right. They should have done this. But think about it. Is Rey nobody? She's living on Jakku in the desert. Nobody knows why. What's going on? Who is she waiting for? Who has his family? What's going on? And why did Ben fall to the dark side? And what does she have to do with him and having visions of him and all this sort of stuff? And then let's also remember, Finn is a brainwashed stormtrooper who suddenly fought his brainwashing and then also escaped more brainwashing by not checking in for reconditioning. Okay, all this together. Rey is a sleeper agent for the dark side. They know that they need to find and kill Luke Skywalker, but they can't find him. He's gone. So they have the Sith have their little Sith Padawan in the desert on Jakku, where the Millennium Falcon is, or where whatever is, stuff like that. They have her there, and she has been deactivated, and they are waiting. They're waiting for her to be reactivated. No, actually. Yes. But see, my bigger thing is that actually Ben and Luke were working together the entire time. Okay, here we go. So, we see Kylo Ren was always a good guy. He was always a good guy. He was always working with Luke Skywalker, and here is the proof. All right, Luke Skywalker started his new Jedi Academy. Part of his trainees were Little Miss Rey and Ben Solo. Little Miss Rey, when she was little, she went cray-cray, having been controlled by the Sith, conditioned by the Sith, programmed by the Sith, what have you. She went cray-cray and killed everybody. Now, they being Luke and Ben, were, could tell that little Rey was being possessed, controlled, brainwashed, what have you, by the Sith. And so they managed to wipe her memories. They wiped her memories, and they knew, though, that the bad side was going to be coming and going to be looking for their agent. So they wiped little Rey's memories, dropped her off on Jakku, and said, I'll be back for you, darling, or I'll be back for you, sweetheart, whatever. And she's the ones that she was calling for to come back for her are not her parents. They were Luke and Ben. and she didn't want to be left behind, but they said, I'll come back for you. And they left her on Jakku, while meanwhile, Ben took the rap for the deaths and the murder. That way he could get welcomed in to the Sith and infiltrate their ranks to find out who this big baddie is, who is strong enough to possess a baby Jedi who then went and proceeded to kill all of the other Jedi and was only just barely stopped by Master Luke Skywalker and Ben Solo, who are, the legendary Skywalker family. They only just barely managed to stop her and put a block on her memories. So they know there's some bad mojo jojo going on out there, and they need to find out who it is. So Luke and Ben devise a plan. Ben will go undercover as Kylo Ren, working for the Sith, and Luke will run away off on a secret mission to find said evil Sith Lords. So then, in The Force Awakens, they are out doing their thing. And that is why when Finn breaks his mind control, Kylo Ren sees it, but doesn't do anything about it. And he's the one that takes point on all of the investigations that might lead back to Luke Skywalker. It's not because he wants and needs to find him super bad. Yes, he's being told to, but he's also taking point on all of the investigations so that way he can make sure to kill any real leads. And then when he sees there is a stormtrooper here who has obviously broken free of the mind control on us because he did not kill anybody, and he's now staring me down, and I can feel it because I'm Kylo Ren and Ben Solo and I am strong with the Force, rather than killing Finn or sending him for reconditioning, he lets him go. And moreover, I'm pretty sure that Ben knew Mr. Pilot Man, Poe Dameron, and he enabled the conditions to exist for Poe and Finn to escape. So then they escape, okay? They go off and they're doing their thing. Meanwhile, they find Rey on Jakku and everything like that. And she tells BB-8, oh, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting, and they'll be back for me. She is waiting for Ben and Luke to come back for her. But what they don't know, or what they do know, which is why they left her there on that planet, is that once she remembers everything again, once she has everything kicked back into place, she is going to be kicked back into being a super dangerous, brainwashed assassin puppet who's going to start killing people again. So it's really not in anybody's best interest for her to remember anything. But anyway, she's on Jakku, BB-8, Han Solo, Finn, blah, 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 blah. They go to space in the Millennium Falcon, and then they're like, oh, sorry, Kylo Ren, we lost the droid because of a girl. And then he freaks, and he's like, what girl? Because he knows about Rey being on that planet. That is his Rey. That is Luke and him have been keeping tabs on her to make sure she's all right and hidden, and now she's out. And that is why when they find her later on the planet, that is why she has that weird flash when she touches the Luke Skywalker saber, because she used Luke Skywalker's sword to kill everybody on that in that Jedi temple. That's why she sees the destruction of the Jedi temple, and she sees Luke and the rain and the death, and she sees Kylo Ren coming for her and stuff like that, because Kylo Ren did go and sort of grab her and stop her. There was all that destruction there. It was at her hands. And then, all this other stuff is going on, and it's like, oh, and she's like, whoa, what was that? That's why. That's what happened. And that's the start of her starting to remember who she is. And then when Kylo Ren gets there, and he says, forget the droid, we have what we need. And he takes Rey because he is because again, this is his girl. This is the girl he's been watching after since she was a kid. They were best friends, in the academy or whatever. He was like an older brother to her, looking after her. And, that when she was taken over and controlled, they, she's the whole reason he is now Kylo Ren and undercover and working for the dark side. Okay, so he takes her, and when he is doing his little mind walk into her thing, he's kind of just checking to make sure that the Force doors are locked, that they are locked, and that she is not going to, blah, blah. And he tries to sort of maybe like redirect some of her, like, ooh, maybe she's thinking these kinds of things, maybe I'll redirect some of those thoughts, kind of trying to gaslight her maybe a little bit, because if she fully remembers everything, she could blow his cover and go cray cray and kill everybody again. And that would all not be good. But alas, he then leaves the room, and Snoke is now believing, hey, yo, Ben, I think you are starting to go on me. I don't actually think you're as loyal to me. In fact, I'm starting to sense that you are very, very much loyal elsewhere. And so that is why then when Han Solo comes, he says the whole I don't know if I have the strength to do it thing, because he has to kill his dad in that moment. And doing one better, Han Solo knew it as well. Han Solo and Han, Luke, Leia, Ben were all in the know of this thing, of this, what's going on here, because of course they would be all in on the know. The only thing they weren't in the know of was that where the heck Luke actually was. They didn't actually know where Luke was. Or maybe they did. Maybe they did all know. Again, we're just imagining it up ourselves. We're fixing it ourselves. So you have it. They were all in the know of it. And then, so he kills Han Solo because he has to prove his loyalty. He doesn't do it because he's got to recommit himself to the dark side, and this is his way of doing that. But he does it because he has to maintain his cover. If he does not do it, they will now know that he is working with Luke Skywalker and that is going to hit the fan. So he does it to maintain his cover. And Han Solo knows. And Han Solo knows that and lets it happen because he knows you've got to maintain your cover. Maybe Leia doesn't know. Leia knows. Leia totally knows. Woo! Sorry. They totally know that Ben is still good and that they've all been working together trying to figure out what's going on because they realize this stuff is really bad and they did a really shoddy job of handling the vacuum after Palpatine got killed. And so they're like, look, they're just doing their best, and they realize that they can't trust anybody, that all they can trust are each other. And they've been slowly trying to find more people they can trust, but And so then they pick up Rey, and instead of it being that, it's the sanctioned mission from everybody to go off and help out and find Mr. Luke Skywalker, she goes on her own to find Luke. And when she gets there and she offers him the lightsaber, his face isn't because, dang it, they want me to join the fight again. It's because he's like, oh, Rey has been activated. She's back. Oh no, Rey has been activated and she's back. And that would have been the setup for what was actually going on in The Last Jedi. That is the stuff that we would start to explore and find out in The Last Jedi. And I will go into that in the next video. Thank you for watching this. Please let me know if you like. And please let me know if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. And let me know if you've heard these theories before. If you agree that this would have been a better thing, I think it would have. And thanks for watching. And I'll be back in another video. Bye.